Good evening, everyone, and so it is now Sunday the 1st of March 2020. Where does the time go? This is my analysis for the week ahead, looking at the US dollar index against the major currencies. Starting off here with the US dollar index, and we had quite a relatively bearish week. If I just look here at the weekly, you can just see here that 99 level, and even a bit of a reaction off that 100 level from last week, but at 99 level tending to hold quite strong. Just keeping an eye on this monthly chart as well. So that looking relatively bearish. The euro actually had quite a strong week. What I'm looking at here that's got my attention here is quite a bullish candle there on the monthly time frame. If there is then subsequently, let me just go through this. If there's some divergence creeping in, then my expectation is that this could be setting up for a change in trend, at least in the longer term. Then having a look at sterling against the US dollar. So this has been quite bearish this week, actually broke out of a bit of a consolidation, heading a little bit lower, still finding some strong resistance at 1.33, and overall not looking that strong. And I'm going to just show you why as well, why I like the look of the euro pairs as well, bullish. Aussie dollar, of course, very, very strong downtrend. There were some good trades over the last couple of weeks on the Aussie and Kiwi pairs because they're looking particularly bearish. So all of those support the idea of a weaker Aussie, weaker Kiwi, but they are due for retracements now, and I'm just looking at some of these candles looking as though they're hitting historical support levels and potentially looking for a bit of a bounce. Dollar yen shows, obviously dollar yen tends to do its own thing anyway, but you can actually see, looking at this bearish weekly candle, that very bearish monthly candle so far, looking quite weak, certainly supporting the idea of a weaker US dollar. Dollar Swissy also heading a little bit lower down to support. So for now, yeah, I'm expecting dollar Swissy to potentially head lower. That bearish candle also looks much more bearish, much weaker, supporting the idea of a weaker US dollar. Dollar CAD actually climbing to the upside. It's the only one right now that's bucking the trend there. So principally speaking, we've had a weaker US dollar, at least for now. I still think it wants to take another run at that 100 level, but for now, certainly it's showing signs of being relatively weak. Where it gets interesting is looking at the euro pairs here. So I'm just going to start off Euro GBP. Euro had a really good week. Euro Yen, again, not doing much there. Euro Swissy heading lower, generally speaking, but actually it was finished off holding at that level of support, pushing a little bit higher, certainly due for a retracement on the weekly. This has been a great one in terms of money making opportunities. A little bit overextended here, and on the monthly as well, I'm quite happy it's coming into historical support levels, but here due for a bit of a retracement there. Where it gets interesting to me, Euro CAD, it's had a good week. Strong Euro, Euro Aussie, and Euro Kiwi all showing strong Euro behavior. But if I then go and compare that to sterling, sterling weak against the yen, pound Swissy also looking weak, pound CAD actually undecided. There's just no trend here at all. And then looking at pound Aussie actually going the other way. So sort of maintaining that trend, but finding some strong resistance there as well. Pound Kiwi, the same thing, some strong resistance coming into play, certainly on these levels here on the weekly. So the point here being that the euro had a really good week last week. The US dollar didn't as such. And sterling not looking, or at least sterling not following through on its bullishness. And then have a look at, say, Euro GBP. Where it gets interesting, of course, is that monthly level support and that very bullish candle, so far indicating that it is still within the range. Okay, so it's still going to be stuck within this larger monthly range, and potentially wanting to attempt